Hey everybody, RJ Carter, Senior Editor here at criticalblast.com, and this morning I want to take a look at a couple of older issues. So while you're still going through your stack of NCBD stuff you picked up yesterday, maybe someday take a quick walk by those long white boxes there at your LCS and see what you can pull out. You might get something good, you might get something weird, you might get something that you think, how'd this ever get published? You never know, but the prices are usually good, so check it out. All right, so today I got a relatively recent back issue, and by relatively recent I mean it's a couple of years old. It's 2016, and I'd heard a lot about this book. None of it was good, but I finally had one in front of me and I wanted to check out Black. Now this is, let me just open it up to make sure I get all the names right. Okay, so this is written by Kwanza Osajyefo, and it's illustrated by Jamal Eigel, with cover art by Carrie Randolph and designs by Tim Smith III. And what we have here is a world where, now there's two ways to represent this, and I've heard one of them and I think that is incorrect. And that is that in the world of Black, only Black people have superpowers. Now, that's not explained why, and it's kind of true, but what's more correct to say is that in the world of Black, the only superpowered people are Black. And that's a semantic difference, but it's a fine line. Not every Black person in this fictional universe is a superpowered person. It's just that if there is going to be a person that's superpowered, they happen to be Black. And I'm sure there's some reason for this that just hasn't been brought up yet. Now, in this particular issue, we've got somebody who's demonstrated an ability in the previous issue, which I have not read, and he's been taken by a group of powered people to train him and show him how to do his stuff. And he gets thrown onto a mission within a couple of months where they're going to go rescue another person that they've discovered. The artwork in this is good. Jamal Eigel's line work is decent. The proportions are good. The people look like people. They don't look like, cartoonish representations. They look about as realistic as you could expect from a decent black and white comic book. So can't really fault anything there. The shading on here is it's black and white, so it's got decent shading. So that brings us to the writing, and I get that I get the idea that Mr. Osajyefo is going for. I wish he'd flesh it out more. I wish he'd give a reason for it. I wish he would, maybe show that something happened in some point in history that caused this somatic mutation to begin happening, and why it's related to, melanin levels or something. Maybe it has to do with global warming and the way that, cells process solar radiation. I don't know. Give us a little something to hang on here. But that's just, world building stuff. I can live with having to wait for that if you have something that you're going to tell us about it. The other part is the dialogue. And the story gets told, we can tell what's going on. They get to the South. And I think that's a proper noun in this instance here, because, well, wherever they've come from and however they got to the South, they apparently took a TARDIS because they landed in 1940s, 1960s South, because by golly, there's a lynching going on. And they've got this young black man tied up to a tree, and they're going to hang some strange fruit. Yeah, as a writer, I have to say it's almost always a mistake to phonetically spell out your dialect and your patois. Let that happen through the pattern of speech rather than through the actual words. For instance, when this transgender singer that they're picking up who needs to join the team first meets him, it's the whole oh my God, I slayed them bitches. Ah, busy bat. And then it's girl, how you been? Okay, now girl, how you been? G-U-R-L. No. And of course the main character here says, dude, girl, that's a dude. And she says, transgender, you cute little word I can't say because I'm a white person reviewing a black book. And I don't need my channel struck because I'm reading the book. Other than that, there's a conspiracy story going on. Decent art, okay story, bad dialogue. Was it worth the buck that I paid for it? Yeah, I'd have paid a buck to read that story. I'd pay a buck to read the next story now that I know what's going on, just to see where it's going to go. So if you can find back issues of that, and you want to follow along with that, go right ahead. Now, the other book I picked up, I got on the cheap here, is from not 2016, but from way back in the Orwellian days of 1984. And that would come from a company called Eclipse. This is B.C. Boyle's The Masked Man, #1. Now this was not a complex story. It's not even a story that has a cliffhanger or something where it's going to be an ongoing thread. There is an ongoing thread. The story is told from the point of view of a newspaper reporter who has seen the Masked Man in the backup stories that he's been in up until this point. This is his first issue on his own. He was a backup in other Eclipse titles. And he's been a proponent for the Masked Man, who is just a guy wearing normal clothes and a necktie and a face mask, armed with nothing but his fists. And he just jumps into trouble and takes care of it. Well, he's disillusioned now, this reporter, because the Masked Man has come out and given a political stance where he's going to support the current guy running for mayor. And the mayor's a douche, to the point where he realizes that he's going to get outshone by the Masked Man. The Masked Man is kind of naive, but not stupid. He's not like the Tick or Megaton Man. He's more naive and like he's hopeful that when somebody tells him that they want to do something good, that they want to do something good. So he tries to see the best in people. But when the mayor's giving the speech and he realizes that, hey, the mayor just stole my speech and I'm being cut out, and the mayor's doing not great things and he's making it look like I support this, well, let's just say the disillusioned reporter is a very happy person at the end of this, and we get to see a little bit more about what the Masked Man is about. Now, other than the flashback incidents here, where we see him flinging into battle in a sort of an origin story, there's not a lot of what you'd call fighting. There's no fighting. This is really a character development story. And they do this great job where the realization is setting in on the Masked Man as the mayor is getting accolades throughout the speech for the Masked Man's own words. And that's that was a very cool and very interesting take, because the Masked Man just speaks from the heart, and he speaks to the people about what he sees for the future, this optimistic, working together vision. And when the mayor takes that, and we know that the mayor doesn't mean it, the mayor's out for himself, he gets to just make a declaration live on camera when they say, sorry son, we ain't got no time for your speech, but thank you for showing up. And the reporter's talking to his camera, he's like, focus on his eyes, get in on his eyes, because he can tell this thing is boiling inside him. He's like, something's about to happen. And the Masked Man just gets up to the microphone and says, Mr. Mayor, and then 3 panels, suck my armpits. Only in the 80s would that line of dialogue work. But it was very cool. And it's a style of artwork that B.C. Boyle man, where are you, and why are you not producing comic books today in this market of self-publishing and crowdfunding? We need you. Please come back and do some stories. We'd love to see a masked man in the modern day. That would be great. Mayor Do Right. Yes, I just saw the name now. So that was gosh, Dean Mullaney, bring Eclipse back, because you had some great stuff out there. All right, so that's it for now. I don't know how often I'll do back issue reviews, but they're kind of fun, and I think that they need to be remembered, the good and the bad. So, you know, take it for what it's worth, and if you can find yourself a copy, you wouldn't be doing yourself a bad turn to sit down with some BC Boyle Masked Man. Thanks.